boys and girls! I'm so excited to be back with you today, and I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy and that you guys are not too bored. But you guys know that with an imagination, you can never be bored. But in case you are feeling a little bit of that today, I decided to bring you an awesome activity. You're going to be learning how to hand letter today. Hand lettering is modern calligraphy, and if you don't know what calligraphy is, it's a type of writing that basically was started because people would dip pens into ink and write fancily and neatly onto a piece of paper. The downstrokes would be thicker and the upstrokes would be thinner. So basically, someone created a thing called hand lettering, which is modern, and there are different types. We're going to be working on the traditional type, but there are different ones. You can bouncy hand letter, you can hand letter, and then do regular lettering underneath it. But there are all different techniques that you can learn as you progress. So let's get started with our materials. So if you went to your front porch this morning, you would have noticed I dropped off your materials. The first thing that you're going to have is a white piece of cardstock, although I did give you a set, but you only need one for now. Then you're going to find the Tombow calligraphy brush pens. They're going to be like this, which we will discuss what each of those pens do after. Then you are going to find the Tombow dual brush pens in citrus. And then you're going to find the simplified lettering worksheets. If you happen to misplace your materials or you can't find them right now, that's okay. I can teach you how to hand letter with a regular pen, so just sit tight and we will be doing that soon. So let me first ask you guys, have you ever heard of calligraphy before? The type of creative writing that I was telling you about earlier? And also, do you like to use pens when writing your letters? I know that sometimes we use pencils, but you can also use pens and markers and different cool things like that. Before we touch any of our materials, I'm just going to explain to you a little bit about what we're going to be doing today logistically. Now, logistically means the things that we have to do in order to get where we want to go. So, there's going to be certain steps that we have to take so that we can all have fun. The first thing that we have to remember is that there is a pattern to hand lettering. When you go down, you want to make a thicker downstroke, and when you go up, you want to make a thinner upstroke. And I will show you guys what that looks like on our paper in just a second. The next thing that you want to remember is that when you hold a brush pen, it's not like a regular pen. So I'm going to show you what that means. So here is one of your pens. I grabbed the first one that I saw, and it was the Tombow 725, and it has a brush head like this. So you're not going to want to go straight down onto your piece of paper like you would a normal pen, but you're going to want to hold your pen like this and have the side hit the paper. Now, boys and girls, I'm going to be showing you what I mean. So you do not want to go like this, but you want to go like this. And when I say thicker downstrokes, it looks like this. And when I say thinner upstrokes, it looks like this. So I want you guys to practice going thick, thin, thick, thin. So that means you're going to take your Tombow dual brush pen and you're going to practice those strokes. At this point, boys and girls, you are going to want to have done thick and thin strokes across your whole sheet of paper, because this is so important to how we are going to be doing our letters. Next, I want you to take your simplified lettering worksheets that I dropped off to you, and I'm going to want you to put them in front of you. Not yet, but when I tell you to, you are going to take one of your Tombow dual brush pens and begin tracing, and I'm going to show you what that looks like now. So in your workbook, you are going to see K, and then it's going to have this downstroke plus this upstroke plus this downstroke, and what you're going to see is that there are these dots and then an arrow, dot and then arrow, dot and then arrow. So it's very helpful. So let's try these together. We are going to go downstroke, then we're going to go upstroke, and then we are going to go down and then back up. So that's fun. Then after you do that, you're going to want to fill in the letter yourself. Now let's remember, my pen is going down, my pen is going up, my pen is going down, and then it's going up. You're going to want to continue through all of K and finish this paper. So you may have noticed that when I was making the K, I would do my downstroke, then my upstroke, and then my downstroke again, but I would pick up my pen every time. This makes it a lot easier because you're not trying to do everything at one time and trying to change the pressure. When you lift your pen, you're able to do more pressure, and then you lift your pen, you can do less pressure. But when you try to do it all at one time, it can become very difficult. Not impossible, but very difficult. So, as you continue on, you'll see the different arrows telling you whether it should be thick or thin, and you'll see that there are more letters and eventually words that you can letter in our workbook. Now that you've practiced all of your letters, I would like you guys to start practicing how to write your name. This is what you're going to be turning into me at the end of this lesson. Here's how I write Miss Westerlund. So first I'm going to write Miss. So I'm going to go up and then down, and then up, and down, up, down, up. Then I'm going to make the I, up to an S, up to an S, and then I'm going to make my dot. Then I am going to write Westerlund. As you can see, there's a thick downstroke, thin upstroke, thick, thin, thin, thick. It was very difficult to film and make this, but this is how it came out. Westerlund. So, some of you may be wondering, Miss Westerlund, I really like hand lettering, but it is a lot to remember. So I decided to come up with a song for all of us to sing. Boys and girls come gather round, hand lettering has come to town. When you take your pen, don't point it at the paper, but angle it and then your skill will become greater. After that, when you make a downstroke, make sure that it's thick because you don't want anything not to stick. And then when you go up, make sure your stroke is thin. After all this, your hand lettering is a win. Boys and girls, I must say I am so impressed with the work you've done with the Tombow dual brush pens, but I thought since you guys are becoming experts on the subject that you might want to learn about other techniques. So first, let's take a look at our Tombow calligraphy brush pens. So these are going to have a different pen to them. See how thin they are? It's going to be the same thing though, except it's going to look a little bit different. We're still going to keep our thick downstrokes and our thin upstrokes, and we're still going to hold our pen at an angle. But what we want to do is just realize that one of the pens is more flimsy and one of the pens is harder. So try out both of them and see which one you like the best. Here is me saying hi to you, class. I used the black Tombow marker that is more flimsy to write this. Let me see your work. Now I know some of you have been waiting to see how to use a regular pen to hand letter. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you how to do that. First, you are going to write something down, anything, so you can write it in plain cursive. So I'm going to write hi, so I'm just going to go down, over, up, and then make my I, like that. So you're like wondering, how do I get from this to a thick downstroke and a thin upstroke? So think about that for a second. What do you think I can do? Yes, I can color in, so I can basically color in the downstroke. So what I'm going to do is kind of go like this and then color that in. Just like that. And then anytime I notice my pen goes down, I'm going to do the same thing. Up and then down. And now you know how to hand letter with a regular pen. You go back in and you fill in the downstrokes. Well, class, this has been so fun, but before we go, I just wanted to tell you that you can still practice hand lettering even when I'm not here. So you can use your simplified lettering worksheets, you can use all of these awesome pens that I gave you, or a regular pen, and you can keep practicing. Have your mom and dad, or you, email me your hand lettering of your name, and I will check it out. I'm so excited to see all your work. Thank you for working hard today. Stay healthy and stay safe, and I will see you so soon.